from the director of 12 Gifts of Christmas and My Summer Prince. Buckle up. What is up, Netflix fans, and welcome back to my channel. A brand new movie just dropped on Netflix this morning. Got up bright and early just to watch it, and that is Secret Obsession. I need your comments down below. Did you enjoy this movie? Did you even know it existed? And later on tonight, actually, I will be watching the brand new Lion King and bringing that review. But first, we have to talk about Secret Obsession, and let's do it. So, recuperating from trauma, Jennifer remains in danger as she returns to a life she doesn't remember. First off, I'm going to review this movie as if you have seen the trailer because there's really no way to talk about my negatives other than to bring up the fact that there are certain people involved in certain situations. So a mild spoiler alert, I guess, but really, do you care? So the majority of the time when I go into a movie like this, I don't watch the trailer if it's like a Netflix original film, because every single time I have seen a trailer for a film in this genre on Netflix, it has ruined, if not the entire movie, integral plot elements. And if you've seen the trailer, I went back and I watched it after I watched this movie, you understand why I don't do that, because this trailer spoiled so many aspects and plot elements of the film, and I went down to the comments and everybody was saying the same thing. Why do I need to see the movie now? I've seen the trailer. I get it, you market it that way because you want people to watch it because they're intrigued from the premise, but just tell us the premise, and Netflix, just put it on the forefront of your homepage if you want people to watch it. You don't have to flash a trailer like that in front of our eyes, regardless of if the trailer gave away everything or not. Like I said, I didn't watch it before watching this film. When the movie starts out, you start diving into the characters and what is actually going on in the situation, and honestly, I knew exactly what was going to happen in this film from beginning to end, and the movie is just straight up predictable, right? Okay, it's predictable. It's not about the destination, Austin. It's all about the journey. I'm of two minds on this, right? If you click on this film, you probably know what you're getting into, and there's a high chance that you'll enjoy it if you love a good obsession movie, a good stalker film, especially if you watch it on Lifetime, because that's what this reminded me of. It didn't feel like it really belonged on a streaming platform. It felt like a straight up Lifetime film, and I've seen this before on Netflix, but every time it happens, I'm just expecting something more, and I'm always so disappointed when it goes down that cliche, conventional, and predictable route, and that's exactly what this movie did. But not just that, right? It brings us talent that I personally really enjoy. Brenda Song, I grew up with Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I love that show. I loved her in that show, so I was excited to see her actually lead a film, and I think that's why a lot of people may walk out going, oh my gosh, Brenda Song was great, because for what she had to do, not so much, but as an actress, I thought she did a decent, coherent job in this movie. Then you got the Allstate guy, Dennis Haysbert. I just love his voice, and really, his storyline was the most intriguing. They slightly skim on a few things that I wish they would have given more time to, because that was interesting to me. That was the one plot element that wasn't really even a plot element. We get like 10 seconds of something that happened in his past, and I'm like, oh, I'm interested. And then that interest went away because this film, like I said, is so procedural, but then you have characters who are just straight up ignorant. Of course, you have to have the stalker and the stalker movie, but the way that he goes about his plan and the way that he tries to cover certain things up, and then the way that he's like photoshopping his whole body into pictures is like, that's the amount of effort you're going to put into this? Like, first of all, he had very limited time to get everything together, so I understand if it wasn't the most well thought out thing, because we don't necessarily have all the answers to the questions that we have, so he may have been planning this for a long time. If that's the case, you butchered it, man, both literally and figuratively. But if this was just some kind of off-the-cuff situation, it would have been more convincing, and then there are certain things he just completely forgot about, and it's like, dude, if you would have just done this or that, or not been so sketchy when you're in public or in front of other people, people may not actually suspect that you're this weird stalker, dude. He just made it so easy for everyone, including the character of Jennifer. It's like he did not even want to hide it. He tried to hide it by doing this, maybe locking her in a room, not allowing her to see certain things, but then he just goes out and does things, leaving evidence behind, and of course, she's going to start to figure it out, on top of the fact that he's relying on this short-term amnesia to completely work. Maybe Maybe he thinks that he's actually going to convince her that she loves him. Maybe he thinks that she'll just forget all about everything that happened, even though it was clearly told to him this is a short-term thing. Her memory will start to come back to her. I do not understand his mentality at all in this movie. His character was frankly completely ignorant, because even though he had this plan, we don't know how long he had this plan, but even though he had it, he did not think anything through. What was he expecting? Did he really think he was going to get away with this? And us, as the audience, we have to at least kind of buy that he had this plan to take her and make her try to feel like she has known him his entire life. I don't understand one bit why this premise was even stretched out to fill 90 minutes of my time. There is no tension. There is no intensity. The thing that I loved the most, the cop storyline, was barely touched on, and it was just scene after scene of Jennifer's character starting to remember things and then not remembering things, and then Russell comes home, and then everything goes back to normal, and then it gets weird again, and it's just 90 minutes of that. And if that's what you want, if you want a movie with barely any intensity, the filmmaking is extremely mediocre, a soundtrack and really a score that just doesn't do anything, doesn't make the intensity stronger, and it did feel off-putting at times, and cinematography that is completely bland, then I recommend this movie. And if you're a fan of Brenda Song or a fan of Michael Haysbert, then I apologize. I wanted to see them thrive in these roles, and they did a decent job. I'd like to see them in something else, but I have seen this movie 1,000 times, and this film did not just not do anything different, it did things worse than what I have seen before. And because of all of those things, man, I had a horrible time with this movie. I'm going to go 28%. There's a tad bit of fun to be had if you can turn your brain off, but I just couldn't do it because it felt like this premise was stretched out for 90 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the movie, I apologize. Tell me in the comments down below. And hey, that's what movies are all about, right? The subjectivity of filmmaking. If you enjoyed that, I can't take that away from you. I just don't recommend watching this because it's not good. Thank you guys once again for watching. Be back later today, and I will catch you very soon.